We gonna rock right to Electric Avenue. And everything get high. Oh, hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. And yeah, it's time to officially start Pick 10 Comedy. I like to start today. It's Monday. It's Labor Day. It's a lazy day for me. But Pineapple Express. So, I love this movie, just so you know. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time. No, come on. This way. Not too far. There. Stop. Stop. No, stop. Stop. Alright. Are you gonna stop moving, please? You're turning that way. Why are you... No. You're not stopping. Why are you still turning that way? Fine, I'll just turn this here then. And we'll just have it the way I want it. Right? Alright. So, no. You gotta stop turning when I turn the thing, because now you're not doing it anymore. Okay. So... Man, this is not... Okay, I think it's stopped now, but I got it. Okay, now I've adjusted. Okay, so... Pineapple Express. Right. This movie came out back in 2008. Stars Seth Rogen. James Franco. Is directed by David Gordon Green. And I have come to admire David Gordon Green as a director, especially with stuff that he's done with the Halloween movies. But the one thing, like, people complain about in that movie, and it's kind of a problem in this one, is the comedy. Like, and this is a comedy movie. You think it, but you say it's one of your favorites. It is. It's not the comedy itself. It's that it's one of those cases where they don't know when to stop the comedy. Like, what was that? I had an example. I don't know. Like, there's a scene where Dale and Saul, they're held captive, and so the whole joke is that it sounds like they're being gay because they're trying to, like, James Franco is rubbing against Seth Rogen. He's got his arms tied in front of him, and they're like this, and they go, "Oh, yeah," and it keeps going, and keeps going, and at one point the phrase, "Yeah, just finish it off in my mouth," is uttered, and it's like, okay, you're going a bit too far. And like the funniest part of that scene is when Craig Robinson at first comes in, he goes, "Hey, you know what? Everything you're saying, I can hear it. I can hear it right from out there. So just shut the fuck up, okay? Shut the fuck up." And then even after all that, and then again, if he can hear everything that they're saying and doing, why does it take him so long to then open the door again and say, "Hey, I done said this. I can hear everything y'all saying, okay?" So you know, and they just keep coughing. It's supposed to be funny. It's not funny. Because I know the joke is supposed to be that Craig Robinson heard them. But they keep going. He keeps saying, "I heard you. Stop doing that." And they keep going. It's like, it's not funny. It's getting to the point of annoyance. Like, okay, we get it. You're trying to keep this going because the joke is he's already heard it. So the joke is, hey, we're going to keep doing this, but it's not funny. And that's the problem, is that sometimes the jokes, they take it too far and it gets unfunny. There's some stuff, well, it's funny, and then it goes a little too far and it's not funny anymore. You know? It just doesn't work. That's kind of how I feel about Will Ferrell, is that sometimes he can be funny, but then he takes it a bit over the top and it's not funny anymore. Such as talking really loudly for no reason. And he's not in this movie, but I'm just saying. Like, you know. And, you know, Seth Rogen is great with comedy. He's Knocked Up, you know, the 40-year-old version. He's been in a lot of good comedies. But In particular, this one, I feel what holds it down from being one of the greatest comedies ever made is that it goes a little too far. And a lot of that, mostly because he probably helped write it, is in Danny McBride's character, Red. I feel... Now, I watched like a behind the scenes, like there was a interesting facts. Apparently, Red was originally supposed to die in the scene where Kevin Corrigan and Craig Robinson come in and shoot him while he's duct taped to the chair. He was supposed to die, but Seth Rogen, you know, they're such good friends, he kept bringing him back, and that's the running joke with Red, is that he'll die and then come back. Like, he dies, but then when Dale goes back to Red's apartment, he's alive again. So they go, and then Red runs away because he doesn't want to die again, or die, and then comes back and ends up dying, and there's like a big explosion, and he comes walking out and he's alive again. So it's like, okay, that's the running joke. But again, the end of this movie is another one of those instances where it goes too long. Because they're sitting in the diner, like a Denny's or something, and they're eating, and basically all it is Dale and Saul recapping everything that Red didn't see in the film. And I'm sitting here watching this, and this time watching it, I go, this is unnecessary. You should have ended with them walking away from the... Like, there's this thing where they walk away, and there's just like a shot of the building, the warehouse or whatever they were in, on fire, and they should have ended with that. Because this scene here, it's too much. It's another one of those things where they go too far. They're just basically just saying everything that happened in the movie already. So it doesn't... We already know that, and they're telling it to Red, and I don't know, it just comes across as too much. Oh, the example I had. When Dale talks to his high school girlfriend, who is over 18, before y'all, cancel this movie. She is 18 in this film. They even say specifically, she's 18. You know, she's 18. That came out sounding like I was Seth Rogen, so I did the laugh. She's 18. No. But yeah, and he's on the phone with her, and he's apologizing to her, and he's like, I'm sorry, I love you. She's like, I love you too. He's like, oh, really? And she's like, yes, I realized I want to marry you. He's like, oh, I made a mistake. And it keeps going, and it's like, no, the scene should end with, oh, okay, I have to go save my friend. I'll talk to you later, bye. And end, like, something like that, like. But I don't know. I also feel like the scenes with the relationship, not just because it's Amber Heard, but like, I don't know. Like, it wasn't really necessary to the plot. It feels like when they do this, like there's a whole scene where he goes to protect her because he thinks that this Ted guy would know, if they know about him, he's going to go after his girlfriend. But I feel like it was unnecessary for him to do it because he goes to rescue them, and then they go to a hotel. He leaves to go get Saul, and they don't come back again until a phone call, and then there's nothing again. It's like you could have taken them out of the script, and it wouldn't have done any purpose. I don't know, I'm on a negative train, but let's talk about positive. Like the villain, Ted, played by Gary Cole, who I've said before is a very underrated actor. I feel like he doesn't get enough recognition. He's always in that meme from Office Space. That's really all that he gets. But whenever I see him in something, a movie or a TV show, I'm like, yes, it's Gary Cole. This is going to be great. And he's one of those bad guys that can be funny and serious at the same time, and he's great. And then he's got these two lackeys, played by Kevin Corrigan and Craig Robinson, like I said, and they have great banter between them, great chemistry between the two of them. And Kevin Corrigan comes off as this guy who just wants to get home. He even says it later. It's like, I just want to go home. I want to have dinner with my wife. You know, and all this stuff keeps happening. Then he ends up dead. But, like, he shoots this guy named Pete. And then later, he's like, we're just going to say Denton did it, okay? And then he's like, Denton comes in, you know, out of nowhere. Obviously, you've seen, he shot Peter. He was an ex-Green Beret. Yeah. Fucking did it. Who is this Dale Denton guy? Because they started this legend of Dale Denton. And that's one of the funny things about Seth Rogen's character Dale Denton, is that everything that happens is by coincidence, but it's built up like he's some sort of badass. and he's not even doing anything. Another thing that could have taken out is them getting arrested by the security guard lady. I understand they're selling. Like, take that out too. They're like trying to sell weed to these kids to get like money for stuff, but like that wasn't really necessary. And then he gets arrested, and then Saul has to show up and save him with a slushie. I don't know. It was really unnecessary, but you know, I like the music and the feel of this movie. You know, the Electric Avenue plays in this. Works very well. This the Pineapple Express song by Huey Lewis and the News plays in the credits. It's very well. But there's this opening thing that I know is just supposed to like, it's supposed to be like the origin story for weed or something, but like, it really doesn't. It makes you think that, like, when I first watched it, I was like, oh, Pineapple Express is a certain like special weed, and they're gonna find it, and it's about like trying, like it's a MacGuffin, and they're gonna have to try to get it because it's a special kind of weed. But no, because they're like, oh, whatever, 19, it's the bee's knees, and like it's illegal, and it's like this is like a special weed that is super illegal and only existed at one point in time, and there's only a small batch of it. But no, that doesn't happen, and like the beginning is sort of just a setup for that weed is illegal, which we already know. And it's hilarious now to see Dale on the radio saying, you know, they should just legalize it. And for the most part, in at least most of the United States, they have. And other places like Canada and stuff, it is illegal. So like, yeah, it's getting there. So you watch this in retrospect, it's like, you know, maybe it has come a long way. I would just ask this, okay? Now, I'm in Minnesota. It's not legal where I come from, but that doesn't stop people from doing it. And whether it gets legalized or not, I don't care if you do it. Just don't do it around me. And don't, like, bathe in the shit and then go into a Walmart and walk past me where it's like, me, because I hate that. I fucking hate that. I was in a GameStop one time waiting for a game to be released, and these two people walked in, and it was like, because that smell, it gives you, and I was just like, and it's like, do you have to bathe in it? You know? See this? Spray it a little bit. I mean, it's terrible. It's bad enough when people smoke, go outside and smoke and come back in, you got that smell. This is worse. It's a dank smell. It's just, ugh. And I hate it. Like, if you're going to go into a public place, change your clothes, spray yourself down, do something to where you're not going to smell like it through the entire fucking store. All right? Like I said, I don't care if you do it. Don't do it around me, and don't stink up a Walmart or whatever with your stinky ass smell, okay? I'm just saying. I will never partake. I'm not interested, but I'm not against anyone else doing it. Just don't do it on me, you know, that sort of thing. I don't, you know. But yeah. But the biggest positive I can give this movie is that the chemistry between Seth Rogen and James Franco is the best part of this, and then it attends to the fact they were real friends in real life, and it sucks now because of all the allegations that come out about James Franco. Seth Rogen has said he's done, you know, acting with him, and it's like, it sucks because you've seen the other movies they're in, and they have great chemistry. Like This Is the End is another one I mentioned. They're great in that movie together. They have great chemistry. You can see it, but they're done now, which means we'll probably never get a sequel to this, and it's on my list of movies that I want to get a sequel, at least comedy movies at least, and we'll probably never see one. Some trivia here first, but yeah, before I go on, the chemistry between them is like the best thing in this film. Like I said, there's a chemistry between Craig Robinson and Kevin Corrigan, and then them, and you know that's good. It's great for cast to have a great chemistry and everything. But some trivia. You may notice that about halfway through the film, James Franco starts wearing a bandana or a little headband on his head. And that's because during the scene where he runs into a tree, there's actually a nail in the tree. And so he got injured or hurt, cut, and they had to bandage it up. But it's not really addressed in the movie. Also, what was the other trivia I had? The Danny McBride one. I mentioned that one, but there was another one I wanted to mention. What was it? I had two to go on. The whole. Oh, it's actually about This Is the End, which I hadn't mentioned yet, but now I'm mentioning it. And This Is the End. They do it's it's apocalyptic movie, and these bunch of celebrities playing fictional versions of themselves are stuck inside this house. It's like Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, James Franco, Danny McBride, that sort of thing. Craig Robinson is there. And so they do a fake trailer for Pineapple Express 2. And it has James Franco and... I can't remember names. Seth Rogen reprising their roles as Dale and Saul. But then you also have Craig Robinson coming back. Danny McBride is Red, and Craig Robinson coming back. Even though, if you were to do a sequel, I doubt his character would come back because he's in this movie as himself. They did that, but his character was dead. I'm just saying. And then Dan McBride's character Red is the drug kingpin now, but there's someone above him, and he's gonna send Dale and Saul to kill Woody Harrelson, who in this trailer is played by Jonah Hill. And apparently it was based on a concept they had for a sequel, but like I said, we'll probably never see it, but it was interesting. It was actually released as a joke trailer on April Fool's Day one year, I think, and it was actually in This Is the End, which is cool. But yeah, I just want to kind of connect that. But yeah, this movie's great. I'm going to say it's pretty good. I've kind of skimped around the plot, but I basically told you that. Oh, Rosie Perez, I forgot about her. She's great in this too. As sort of the partner and lover, I guess. Oh, and then you have the Chinese drug lords or whatever they are. You get Bobby Lee and the guy from The Hangover. And the guy from The Hangover has my favorite line in the movie, where he's like, "Hey Ted, suck on my balls 2 times," and throws the bomb out. And this is another callback too. I mentioned earlier one of my favorite scenes. Where they're running and Saul jumps in the garbage can or the dumpster and is like, "Hey man, let's hide in here." "No, we gotta go. Let's just hide in here." "Why?" "Because I'm already in here." I like the trailer of that movie. But during this, before the bomb explodes, Dale jumps into a dumpster. So I count that as a callback. So yeah, this movie's pretty good. But we have to continue on. Number 2. So, I realize now I can hold this so that you can see me actually roll the dice. We have 4. It's doubles. Do I get to roll again? I keyed. Yes, 4. So, are we doing 4 going up, 4 going down? We do 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't remember how I did it. I think I'll just do it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's how I did it. Or no. Whatever. I'll do this one. I'm sick of counting. I'm going to show it to you first. My Super Ex-Girlfriend. How do I know? Because that's the only one that has a 2-sided thing that I put in here, I think. Let me try to make sure. Unrated. Oh no, it's Sex Drive. It's Sex Drive. I didn't realize that one also had a... Well, we're going to talk about... There's two different cuts. I'm going to say it like that because it's not really 2 different cuts. But we're talking about it, so let's get that up. Sex Drive. I didn't think. I don't know. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on Pineapple Express? It's going again. Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one. It's still going.